All right, class, this is Chapter 1 exam review. I misspoke in the other video. The other video is actually Chapter 2 exam review, but here we go. So evaluate. I'm telling you, Chapter 1 is very simple. I know Ms. Rowland gave you about 20 minutes to do it. I think that was plenty of time. This is simply a plug it in problem. Plug it in and simplify. Number one mistake is plugging in -5 for z and then squaring it. -5 squared is 25. Okay, 25 minus 2 or 20 is 5. Number 3, I got -6. It's just a matter of plugging in the different things and keeping things straight. Number 4, I think even easier yet, 4 and 5. Take a look at these. It's just collecting like terms. We're doing things a lot more difficult than this. Make sure you distribute this negative. -3 times x and -3 times -7 is positive 21y, and then collect like terms. Okay, number 6. Simply a two-step equation. Everyone knows how to do that. Number 7 is variables on both sides. So I would get rid of the smaller of the two. Go from there, then I would add 12 from both sides to both sides. So x equals 11. Number 8 takes a distributive property. 3x plus 6 when you distribute the 3 to both terms. And then it's just variables on both sides. Add 15 to both sides. X equals 7. Remember, for every single one of these, you could have plugged in x to see if you were right. So plug x back into, both 4x and 6x and see if you get equal on both sides. All right, number 9, 10, 11, and 12, it's solve and graph. Number 9, the tricky part is that when you divide by a negative, when you have an inequality, you must switch the sign. So it was less than or equal to, now it's greater than or equal to. In this case, you got -6. So to graph it, you graph it on a number line, something like that. And since it can be equal to -6, that's a solid dot, and greater than that is to the right. Okay, number 10, I would add 8 to both sides. So you solve an inequality just like you solve an equation. Now, this is just division. X, some number divided by 5 is 8. That's 40. 40 divided by 5 is 8. The way you could get that, though, is to multiply both sides by 5. And that would cross out, and x is greater than 40. So I'd put 40 in the middle. 41, 42, get the point. So skipped one there, but it doesn't really matter. Squeeze it in there. 38, and then greater than that, but it cannot. It's just greater than 40, so it's an open dot. Okay, distribute. Distribute the 2, and then solve this thing. So I would subtract 2x from both sides, then subtract 4. So you get 5x is greater than -10. Divide both sides by 5. You get x is greater than -2. You notice that I did not switch the sign. Just because I got a negative answer doesn't mean switch the sign. I did not divide or multiply by a negative. So the sign's going to stay the same. Oops, it's actually greater than or equal to. It's going a little fast there. So it's going to be a solid dot at -2. So another way you can do this is if this is -2, you don't have to label every single dash. And again, it's greater than or equal to, so solid dot and to the right. Alright, so it looks like we have another greater than here, but watch what happens. Going to add 7. I get negative 2x is greater than, that's negative 4. And then I have to divide by negative 2. Dividing by a negative or multiplying by a negative makes you switch the sign. So this is going to be x is less than 2. So 0, 1, 2, something like that, and less than that, but not equal to it, so it's an open circle to the left.